Seventh in line is Mayochiki. Not in little part due to his experiences with his family members, Kinjiro Sakamichi has developed a fear of women. He can't even take a touch from a girl before suffering nosebleeds and even fainting. Well, things are about to get worse for him, largely in part to his unfortunate encounter with renowned butler Subaru Konoi. Turns out that the popular butler is in fact a she. And after a violent assault, Kinjiro finds himself at the mercy of the headmaster's daughter, Kanade. In exchange for Kinjiro keeping Subaru's gender a secret, Kanade would help cure his fear of women. Now, I wasn't sure what my expectations were into Mayochiki, seeing as I joined the ride due to finding the opening theme really catchy. I got more than what I bargained for, because Mayochiki gave me loads of fun. From its out-of-this-world premise to its endless doses of comedy, ecchi, and some cross-dressing hijinks, this show is an underrated winner. Right before we enter the top 5, we take a quick refreshing stop with Maid-sama at number 6. Living a double life isn't easy, especially if you're someone as hard-nosed and strict as Student Council President Misaki, known for her disciplinarian attitude and martial arts skills that would send even the toughest troublemakers running. She does hold a secret. She works part-time at a maid cafe. It doesn't take long before Yusui, the most popular guy in school, walks into the maid cafe and uncovers the indomitable girl's secret. Now, he has her in the palm of his hand. What happens when the most popular bad boy in school has the perfect blackmail material? An opportunity for a budding romance, of course. I think that the hook for Maid-sama is really great, but I think it's got some issues with the sheer amount of unimportant side characters. Despite everything, I still think that there are things that it could have done better, which is why it's only 6th on this list. However, everything else from the main character dynamics and development, the art, and the sheer amount of comedy, especially in early episodes, makes this one a really good rom-com. At number 5 is School Rumble, I Love You. 3 magical words that are so powerful that one wrong utterance can turn multiple people's worlds upside down. That is, if you can even properly muster the courage to say those magical words in the first place. Such is the dilemma faced by idiot delinquent Kenji Harima, who just can't find it in himself to confess to his crush, who in turn is even more clueless in how she goes with her feelings for an oddball obsessed with food. Well, you also have these characters who may or may not have feelings for Kenji, and what we have is a full-blown high-octane comedy of misunderstandings, failed confessions, and plain old high school craziness built around people wanting to win the hearts of the people they desire. And it looks like High School Romance is definitely not a walk in the park. Good Old School Rumble is one of the shows that opened me up to the world of rom-coms, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys could say the same. And yeah, you're not supposed to take most of this one seriously. Wacky situations, hilarious misunderstandings, and much more await in one of the most beloved romantic comedies of the 2000s. Next up, we take a look at Sakuraso. Now, this hit light novel rom-com pretty much defined part of my college life. Due to his conscience preventing him from abandoning a stray cat, Sorata ends up being kicked out of his regular school dorms and lands at Sakura Hall, home of the eccentric troublemakers. However, his new life takes yet another turn as he gets a quick request to pick up the art teacher's cousin, Mashiro Shina. All of Sorata's hopes of protecting this new girl from the craziness of the dorm get dashed when he realizes that Mashiro is also quite the eccentric herself. Mashiro is an artistic genius, but she's also one of the worst in terms of social skills, to the point where she can't even take care of herself. This leaves Sorata to take care of this new girl, who's wasted no time in latching onto him. There are so many ways that Sakuraso could have ended up lost in the shuffle in the admittedly oversaturated genre, but it did manage to stand out. With its quirky characters, amazing dynamics, and full dose of entertainment, I look back fondly on this series, and I think that you should definitely give it a shot too. Now, beginning our top 3 is the 3rd ranked anime on the list, Ore Monogatari. Ore Monogatari's main character, Takeo Gora, is not exactly what you'd think of when you think rom-com protagonist. Sure, he's got a heart of gold and the sense of dashing chivalry. However, he's also a giant of a man whose intimidating frame gives him his fair share of rejections. Instead, it's his handsome friend Sonakawa who gets all the attention from the girls. That would change one day when he rescues Rinko Yamato from being molested. Even after the sweet girl starts hanging out with the duo, Takeo assumes that she's just really grateful and is actually interested in Sonakawa. Little did he know that the girl's actually in love with him. Now that's a surprising premise that you don't see every day. Ore Monogatari is filled with a lot of enjoyable lovey-dovey moments while never ceasing to make me laugh due to the awkwardness of it all. The characters really have chemistry, and while I think the story moves forward in a rather slow pace, the laughs I had were enough to have me breeze through this show. I was at the edge of my seat wanting to see whether Takio's unexpected love story would really bloom at the end of it all.
その日、あずさ川作田は出会った。そう。ここから始まったんだ。僕たちの物語。
You might have known the show by name already due to its recent popularity, but here we are. In second place is Bunny Girl Senpai. Dengeki Bunko has struck gold with a rom-com series again, it seems. You guys know the basic setup for these shows now, don't you? Standard average guy, in this case Sakuta, stumbles upon a chance encounter with a girl. This time, it takes the form of teen actress Mai Sakurajima, who our protagonist sees in a bunny suit inside the library. However, Sakuta quickly realizes that it's only he that can see Mai, and he quickly concludes that Mai is affected by the urban legend that he knows as adolescent syndrome. With that, Sakuta decides to get to the bottom of things while unraveling the mystery of the adolescent syndrome, and he'd soon find out that even more girls find themselves afflicted with this mysterious phenomenon. Looks like here we have Dengeki Bunko's answer to Monogatari, because this sure looks like it. If you've watched the latter, you can generally have an idea of what to expect for Bunny Girl Senpai. It has its fair share of funny moments, but I found myself really gripped by the level of drama and tear-jerking that it can really do. I really recommend this show for a watch, and if you can't get enough of it, make sure to move on to the sequel movie.
俺の人生どうしてこうなっちゃったんだろう。
こんばんは。はじめまして。貝崎新さん。
Ever wanted to redo the joys of youth as a boring old adult? Real Life might just be up your alley, as it's the #1 show on this list. I've talked about this show multiple times already, but I'm surprised to see that I've yet to feature it in a top 10 list for romantic comedies. Maybe because I see it more of a romantic drama, but it has its funny moments and it does give us a glimpse of the fun and joy of youth. A lot of us could probably relate to Arata. He's nearly the age of 30, juggling part-time jobs, and simply lacking direction in his life. All that changes once he gets offered the job opportunity of a lifetime. Project Real Life allows him to revert back into a high school student, physically that is, in a chance to not only experience youth once again, but to also fix some mistakes made in the past. Now I'm not sure it's just because of my age, but Real Life really poses a very interesting question and premise that I think a number of people can relate to. It does have quite a slow pacing, but it has a lot of touching moments, and I think it's very much worth your time to watch it. So, how does this list look? 10 more romantic comedies to help cheer you up in these trying times. And while you're at it, why not give some more recommendations? I need some fluffy and light-hearted anime to help brighten things up, and I've complete faith in you guys to give some recommendations yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button too. Once we hit the next milestone, I'll have a surprise for you.